Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dan Lags, and welcome back to week 2 of my NFL picks. So just like last week, today is Thursday. I'm going to be recording this video before the Thursday night game, and then I'll upload it sometime before the Sunday game start, whether it be Saturday night or Sunday morning. So what I'm going to do on these episodes in the coming weeks is kind of recap the week before. So I'm going to start off by saying that I got 8 of 16 games correct in week 1. So 50% of my games I got right, and honestly, throughout the whole season, if I get a 50% correct ratio, I guess, or if you're a pessimist, you could say 50% incorrect ratio, but anyway, I'll consider that a success. 50% in the NFL, I'll take that. So obviously I'd like to go higher, and anything lower, that's kind of unacceptable, but 50% for week 1 when you don't really know if teams are going to be good or not, seems pretty good to me. So what I'm also going to do is try to do like a series called, like a little segment at the beginning where I do my 3 best picks of the week and my 3 worst picks of the week in the past week, which is week 1. So let's go ahead and go into that. I'll start off with my 3 best picks, and first one, the New England Patriots. So I'm a Jets fan. I don't like the Patriots at all, but I just knew that Bill Belichick was going to find a way to beat the Cardinals on the road. That was actually a pretty impressive win, although the Cardinals did miss a last-second field goal, so it could have gone either way. Still pretty good without Brady and Gronk, so that was my first good pick. Second one was the Jaguars. Now, people in the comment section were cooking me about not picking the Packers against the Jaguars. There's just a bunch of Packers fans, I guess, that watch these videos, but you got to give respect to the Packers fans. They're everywhere, but I picked the Jags because they were at home. I knew they had a high-powered offense, well, an improving offense, and I felt like they could keep the game with the Packers close. The Packers were heavily favored. The Jags kept it close. In fact, the Jags were in it all the way until the end. So, although the Jags didn't win the game, they did cover the spread, so I got that win. And then my third pick, which is my best pick of the week, but it's also the one that actually angers me the most. So roll back the tape. Totally unbiased here. I'm still picking the Jets. I could see the Jets taking like a 1-point loss. But anyway, guys, those are my best picks of the week. The Jets was definitely my best pick. Let's go ahead and move on to my worst picks of the week, starting off with the Cleveland Browns. Now, in my video, I originally said I was going to pick the Eagles, but then I swapped to the Browns thinking that the Eagles have an quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and the Browns, RG3 might have a good game. No, it didn't happen. The Browns were the Browns. The Browns are literally the worst NFL team. It's like not even close. Like, I'm a Jets fan, and I feel bad for Browns fans because they actually, never mind. They have the Cavs. Never mind. They have the Cavs. The Cavs are amazing, and they have Ohio State too. Never mind. I don't feel bad for Browns fans anymore. But I'm just saying that the Browns are so bad and cursed that they can't do anything right, it seems. So they got destroyed in that game. I shouldn't have picked them. I probably won't be picking them for the rest of the season. And then my other bad picks were the Seattle Seahawks, who I thought were going to destroy the Dolphins at home, but their offense looked really bad, and they struggled. They won the game, but they didn't cover the spread. And my third pick was the Redskins. I picked them outright to beat the Steelers on Monday Night Football. Big mistake. The Redskins looked pretty bad. The Steelers looked really good, and I'm going to be picking the Steelers a lot from now on because of Big Ben Antonio Brown combo is lethal. So those are my 3 best picks and my 3 worst picks from week 1. So let's jump into the week 2 picks now. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and start the week 2 picks. I'm going to try to go through these a little bit more rapid fire than I did in week 1. I want to keep these videos to about 10 minutes long, so let's just see what happens here. But we got another 16 games to go through, so let's jump right into it. Starting off with a Thursday night game, which is tonight, and that's my Jets versus the Bills. And the Jets obviously let me down in week 1. As you guys saw earlier, they lost by 1 point to the Cincinnati Bengals when they missed an extra point. So they really should have won that game. Very frustrating, but I'm used to it at this point. The Jets are very, very they're not a clutch team. They lose a lot of close games. But anyway, the Jets and the Bills, it's at Buffalo, and the Jets are favored by 1 point. I'm actually going to take the Jets here. I didn't like what I saw from Buffalo week 1. However, the Bills do find a way to beat the Jets a lot. I got to pick the Jets. I got to go with my team for the second week in a row. I got to stick with them. I'm hoping that they can just, bounce back and just win this game by like a touchdown or something like that. So I'm picking the Jets in that game. Going to the Sunday games, 1 o'clock start on September 18th. We got the Bengals at the Steelers. This is a good game. 2 1-0 teams, 2 teams that, looked pretty good in week 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers are favored by 3.5 points. I'm actually going to take the Bengals here, but I think Pittsburgh's going to win by 3. If it was a 2.5 point spread, I'd probably pick the Steelers, but I think it'll be a close game, and I think the Steelers will nudge it out by maybe a field goal at the end. So I'm picking the Bengals. However, I still think the Steelers are going to win, but of course, we pick against the spread here. So I got to keep that in mind. But anyway, next 1 o'clock game is the Titans at the Lions. The Titans were winning in week 1. I did pick them, but they ended up losing. So I'm actually going to pick them again. I have confidence that the Titans are going to find a win here. The Lions did win week 1 against the Colts. They looked pretty good. So I actually am going to pick the Titans here. The Lions are favored by 6, by the way. So that's a pretty big margin. I could see the Titans losing by 3 or like 4. But I don't see the Lions winning by a touchdown. I think it'll be a closer game than that. So I'm picking the Titans. So back-to-back. Actually, I picked all 3 away teams so far. So I got to get some home teams in here. Usually the home teams win like 70% of the time. So I got to pick them a couple of times. But definitely not picking this next home team. And that's the Cleveland freaking Browns. The Browns are playing the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 6.5. If it was 7.5, I'd probably pick the Browns. But I think the Ravens will win by a touchdown on the road. So I'm picking the Ravens there. Next game is the Cowboys at the Redskins at Washington. So the Washington Redskins are favored by 2.5 over the Cowboys. This is a tough game for me to pick because I want to say the Redskins are going to bounce back from week 1, loss to the Steelers, but they did not look very good in that game. So do I pick the Cowboys, who also lost in week 1 to the Giants? That's a tough one to pick. It really is. It's a 2.5-point line in favor of the Redskins, so the Cowboys are getting 2.5 points. I could see the Cowboys winning, honestly, but I could also see the Redskins winning by 3 if they do win. So that's a pick'em game to me. You know what? I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I picked the Redskins last week and it backfired on me, so maybe they'll turn around this week. I'll pick them again. I'll go for them one last time. But if they screw me over one more time, I'm done with the freaking Kirk Cousins for a while, and he better like it. So next game is the Saints and the Giants, and that is Giants at home. Giants are favored by 4.5. This game last year was like 100 total points. Like, there was no defense played in that game last year. I think the Giants have an improved defense. The Saints, on the other hand, not so much. So I'm picking the Giants there to win that game. I think they'll win by a touchdown at home at MetLife Stadium. So let's go ahead and move on to the next 1 o'clock game, which is the 49ers versus the Carolina Panthers. This line is insane. The Panthers are favored by 13.5. So they have a 2-touchdown favorite. I can't pick that big of a spread. I'm picking the 49ers. I think they'll make it. The Panthers will probably win the game 30-18, but that won't cover the spread. So, or even 30-17. So I can't pick a line that big. It's just not wise for me to do that. So I'm picking the 49ers there to keep it close. However, I think the Panthers will definitely win that game 100%. All right, next game we got the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Patriots are favored by 6.5 over the Dolphins at home. I'm picking the Patriots again. In my lifetime as a football fan, I've been a football fan since like 2001. Pretty much, like, the Patriots have been a dominant team since then, and I never pick against them. Even though I don't like them, obviously being a Jet fan, I never pick against them. It's just not smart to pick against them, so I'm picking them to beat the Dolphins there. Plus, the Dolphins looked terrible in week 1, so I'll pick the Patriots to win that game. Next game is the last 1 o'clock game. We got the Chiefs at the Texans. Texans are favored by 2.5. This is a good game. It's a rematch of the playoffs last year, wild card round. The Chiefs, I believe, blew out the Texans at home, so I'm picking the Chiefs again. I know the Texans are a little bit improved because they have Brock Osweiler, who actually played pretty good in week 1. I was surprised by how well he played. They beat the Bears, and I picked the Bears. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs, however. I loved their comeback against San Diego. That was impressive. And I'm going to take the Chiefs there to beat the Houston Texans outright, although the Texans are favored at home. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4 o'clock games. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Rams. The Seahawks are favored by 3.5. I'm taking the Seahawks because I'm actually surprised it's not a higher spread. The Rams did not score in week 1. They don't even have football in Los Angeles yet. They didn't even score in week 1. They're still in St. Louis for everybody else. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're still in St. Louis. They didn't even score in week 1 against the Niners. I mean, the Niners, I didn't even think the Niners were good, but the Rams are literally looking like the worst team in the league besides the Browns, so they should probably have a top 5 pick. Their quarterback, Jared Goff, hasn't even, been activated yet, so I don't even know what they're doing over there. Jeff Fisher, I don't know how he still has a job. He goes 8-8 every single year, and he gets extensions. I don't get it. But anyway, not to bash on the Rams too much. It is at home in Los Angeles in the USC Stadium, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but I'm still going to pick the Seahawks there. If it was a higher line, I'd probably pick the Rams, but I think the Seahawks will win by a touchdown. All right, next game we got the Buccaneers at the Cardinals. 7-point line for the Cardinals. I'm picking the Bucs. All right, I'm putting some money in Jameis Winston's pocket. I actually, I'm a Marcus Mariota fan, so, the whole Jameis-Marcus rivalry was kind of big. But I still think Jameis is a great QB. I think he looked great in week 1. Jameis is going to be a great quarterback in the league. He's just a good passer. So I think the Buccaneers will keep that one close. I expect the Cardinals will probably win because they need a win after their bad loss in week 1 to New England. So I could see it being close, but I don't see the Cardinals covering a 7-point line because if it was 6.5, I'd probably pick the Cardinals. But since it's 7, they have to get at least 8 points to win, so to cover that spread. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Buccaneers. I'm picking a lot of road teams this week. That's probably not the great idea, but it's just how they're going. So next game we got the Jaguars and the Chargers, and let's see. The Chargers are favored by 3 over the Jags on the road, or the Jags are on the road. The Chargers are at home. That's a tough game for me to pick because I liked what I saw from the Jaguars in week 1. I might actually take the Chargers here though. I have to pick some home teams, and the Chargers, I could see covering that line. I don't know. Now I'm taking the Jaguars. I like the way the Jaguars looked in week 1 despite their loss. The Chargers completely blew a game, so who knows if they'll probably do the same thing again. But I'm picking the Jaguars in that game. And then we got 2 more 4 o'clock games. We got the Falcons at the Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 5 at home. I'm taking the Raiders there. I love what I saw from the Raiders week 1. They scored a lot of points. The Falcons defense, I don't think is very good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Raiders there to win by a touchdown. Next game, we got the Colts at the Broncos. This is a good game. Andrew Luck versus the Broncos defense should be a good matchup. Andrew Luck looked great in week 1 in his return. I will take the Broncos there to win. The Broncos are favored by 6, though. I could see that. I could see the Colts. I don't know. I mean, the Broncos defense is so good. I could see them holding them off and winning that game. But that's honestly a really difficult. That 6-point line that's a very tricky pick. If it was a pick 'em, it'd be easy. But with that line, that's still tricky. I'm gonna take the Broncos. Though I got to pick some home teams. I haven't picked any home teams yet. So, well, I have, but not that many. But I'll take the Broncos there. And then finally, Sunday Night Football, Packers Vikings. The Packers are favored by 2.5 on the road. This is at the new stadium, the U.S. Bank Stadium. I think it's like a really sick stadium. I'm probably gonna have to watch that game to check it out. I'll take the Packers on the road here to win that game by a field goal. So the Vikings didn't look great in week 1 offensively, so I don't really see them scoring a lot of points, and I don't see Aaron Rodgers making like bad turnover mistakes like the Titans did. So I'll pick the Packers there. And then finally, last game of the week, we got Eagles-Bears on Monday Night Football. Not that great of a game for Monday Night Football, and the Bears are favored by 3 over the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles outright. I like what I saw from the Eagles in week 1. I know they played the Browns, but the Bears aren't that great either, so I'll pick the Eagles to win that game outright. So there are my picks for week 1, guys, in the books. Again, just like I said last week, I have no idea how these picks are going to go. You know, I could get them all right. I can get them all wrong. I could get 8 out of 16 like last week. You know, I could get 12 out of 16 and have a great week. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's the NFL. This is the most unpredictable sport, but that's what makes it so fun to watch because you just don't know what you're going to get from week to week. So all I really care about is if the Jets can fly the W tonight against the Buffalo Bills. If the Jets lose to the Bills tonight, guys, 0-2, and then we got to play the Chiefs and we got to play the Seahawks in 3 and 4. We're staring at 0-4 if we lose this week. Can't let that happen. Got to beat the Bills tonight, and I'm going to be pissed if we don't. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week for week 3 of the NFL season. And go Jets. See you guys later.